Please welcome Larry Young.
Thank you. My senior year in college, I wanted to catch touchdowns. I was a starting tight end. And my coach came to me and he said, Young, we're third in the nation. We got a 20-game win streak, and we don't have any backup offensive tackles. I want you to stay after practice, work with the offensive tackles to learn the plays, defensive guys to go against, and some of us coaches are going to stay after. And you can't quit practicing and keeping us after until you figure it out. I said, Coach, I'm short. I'm going to be outweighed by 20 pounds. How can I win? These guys are too big. And he said, Young, you're going to learn how to dance. I'm like, Coach, I know how to dance, right? Now this is the 90s, so it's probably more like this, right? And he's like, no, Young, you're going to learn how to dance. I've had the pleasure of speaking to many different industries, banking, construction, nonprofits, agriculture. And what I tell people is that leadership is not just reserved for Wall Street and for high-powered executives. Leadership is the ability to sit down with a business owner, whether it's an engineering firm, construction, or maybe it's a nonprofit, and being able to talk to them about the whys, the why they do things. The hows will come when they know the whys. But what they find through our conversation and through keynotes is it starts to develop not only the why they do things, but the stories that they need to tell, not only within their organizations to align people, but the people outside, to get the people outside their organization on board with what they're trying to accomplish. Joanne, about 7 years ago, Joanne worked for me. Wickedly smart woman. She had a lot of skills, but here's Joanne. She just doesn't carry herself real well, okay? Now in 5 weeks, I want to put her in a position where she can report out to some of the leaders at a national conference. I want to give her some exposure, but she doesn't present it well. My question for you is, how do you teach somebody charisma? Huh? Oh, how do you have that? How do you know what it is, right? Whatever it happens to be, how do you teach that? And then an idea came about. I went to a lady that ran the local theater company, and I said, look, your shows are sold out. All your people are volunteers. If you needed somebody to be in the construction field, teach me how to act like a construction worker, could you do it? And she said, well, without a doubt. Can you teach somebody charisma? Can you teach them whatever that happens to be, how you walk into a room with that powerful presence? Can you teach somebody how to act like a high-powered business executive? She says, sure. I hook her and Joanne up every Friday, 2 hours for acting lessons. How engaged do you think my millennial was? How engaged do you think they were? Do you think they thought I was walking up the mountain with them, going like this? Powerful stuff. A few weeks after, Joanne reports out at the conference, and I knew she wouldn't last long because all my regional peers were saying, who's that? Who's that? 2 months later, Joanne is promoted. Position opens up in another region, shoot, just like me. Slid right over. Yes. Leadership has to be your passion. Developing people must be your passion. When I'm coaching in corporate America, I've been doing that for a lot of years. Now I coach executives and emerging leaders. And these are great tools. But on the weekends and the evenings, I coach little boys football. And inevitably, every year starts and some mom comes to me and says, Coach, can you help my son? He needs some accountability. He needs some discipline. He needs some direction. I say, sure. And I am hard on these kids. I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing them. And every time they want to quit, I just keep going, right? And then one Saturday, they pick off a pass, they create a fumble, they make a tackle, they score a touchdown. And they come off the field and they're like, Coach! You can just see it in their face, Coach! And they look at me, they look to me. I did it, they say. And you realize that child realizes that they're a better version right now than they were 10 minutes ago. It's powerful stuff. And it's not just for kids. That senior year I talked about, Coach was on me all the time. And he came over to me after practice one day and he grabbed me by the face mask, which you can't do anymore. And he said, "Young, the day I quit yelling at you is the day I don't care." And he said it to me like a father would to a son. And he grabbed my face mask again and he said, "I will never give up on you." And I realized at that moment that my life changed when I didn't know it was going to change. When I got into the corporate world, I was never a manager, I was always a coach. And I had been spending the last 25 years figuratively grabbing people by the face mask saying, "I'll never give up on you. I'll never quit."